This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 571 for October 1st, 2018. Ubisock.
4.6% cotton.
Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your host, Boston, and joining me as always is Vampyr.
Hello, Governor.
We have a brand new episode of Old Dog New Flicks out right now for both the, let's start off with the patrons, patreon.com/E1M1. The episode 7 came out, which is Blues Brothers.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I think it's a really great episode. I think it might be controversial, let's say.
Yes.
But that's available for patrons right now. For the non-patrons on the free feed, episode 4 is out right now, and I'm pulling this out a little bit so I can look up.
Which episode it was?
Waterworld.
Hey, perfect timing. I'm going to link that to Chuck now, because he literally was talking about Waterworld yesterday, I think.
So, there you go.
I think I'll send him a link.
So go listen to that. Both available on Patreon and then TVGP.tv for all that stuff. If you're a patron, a new episode will come out today if you're listening to the audio version of Dynamic Soundtrack, and another free episode will go on the feed. That's only on a two-month delay. So, with all that business stuff out of the way, let's dive into what you've been playing this past week, Vampyr.
Okay, let's start with the showstopper, shall we?
Okay.
Well, we all know what it's going to be. It's going to be Marvel's Spider-Man 2016.
Yes.
I started the week hot with this, and I was expecting to have it finished by the end of this week. I didn't. I'm pretty sure I'm on, the last 2 or 3 missions.
Oh, okay.
I have now unlocked every collectible on the map.
Okay.
So I'm only about 20 collectibles away from having every single collectible in the game.
Wow.
So I think I'm going to go do them before I actually finish the story.
Yeah.
I think I've pretty much finished every single side mission, every upgrade.
Wow.
Well, not every upgrade. The challenges in this game are ridiculous. There has been some conversation in our Discord channel about how difficult the challenges in this game are. Which, if you ever played any of the Arkham games, you know about the challenge rooms.
Oh, no.
They are very, very difficult. I'm hoping I don't need any more challenge coins to get any more trophies, because I am pretty much done with those challenges right now.
Right.
But I'm not going to complain, because it's something for people who want to literally not platinum, but 100% the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's something for those people to do, so I'm perfectly fine with that being in there, as long as I don't need... I have one suit left to unlock, which I think is for beating the story mode.
Oh, okay.
Because I've already hit the level cap. So, I've unlocked every other suit in the game, except for one, which I'm assuming is the beat the story mode suit.
Right.
There is an ability tied to that suit which I'm very curious about, which is there are hidden photograph locations on the map, apparently.
Okay.
I kind of want to know what that's about.
Like a point where you can take a photograph from there of something special?
I don't know, because literally if you go into the suit skills, I've unlocked every single suit skill, except for the one tied to that last suit, and it says on it, shows hidden photograph locations on the map.
Oh, okay.
That's all it says. So I really want to go in and see what that is, and see if there's a whole nother world waiting for me.
Right.
But as of right now, I have the last bit of collectibles to collect.
Yeah.
For those who can't see, I'm doing the double quotation marks every time I say collectibles, because to say what the collectibles are collecting would be a huge spoiler for the end of the game.
Okay.
So I cannot mention that because of reasons.
Well, and the game's still only less than a month old, so...
Yeah. I'm very rapidly approaching a platinum.
Mm-hmm.
And shock of shocks, I'm probably going to platinum Spider-Man before I platinum God of War.
Well, God of War has all those stupid crows. Just a pain.
The stupid crows, the ridiculous collectibles, all that kind of stuff left to do.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Spider-Man has essentially taken over my PlayStation, and not that that's a bad thing. I've been chipping away at God of War for months.
Yeah.
And Spider-Man is not a 60-hour game the way the God of War is.
Right.
So.
Well, you already finished God of War's story anyway, so...
Yes, now I'm just taking a huge break before I can go back and do the ridiculously difficult combat challenges, which I'm sure will be fine having not played the game for 2 months. I'm sure I'll just breeze straight into those.
They actually weren't that bad with an armor set that complements your playstyle, I found.
Yeah, well, I don't know. We'll see. Well,
someday.
Yes, someday. But Spider-Man, PS4, the game is incredible.
Yeah.
FIFA 15, I am done. Delete that thing off my hard drive.
Yeah.
15 gigabytes goes back into the backlog for Forza Horizon 4.
Victory!
Not really, because I don't have the 2 achievements I'm missing. I'm never going to get the 2 achievements I'm missing, because from every single bit of research I've done on it, they are essentially luck-based games.
Ugh.
Or luck-based achievements.
No, thank
where
you.
you need to do something in a very specific way that is never going to come naturally throughout the normal course of play.
Right.
And the other one is have your character in a very specific location, with the ball in a specific location, and the goalkeeper in a specific location, and perform this very, very specific button combination, and then hope that you get the animation that you need to get that achievement.
A 1 in a million thing.
Yes, they are both about 15% achievements.
Yeah.
But when you consider that these are FIFA games, which in the rest of the world is the Madden of...
They're selling millions and millions of copies. Yeah.
Yeah, and you get some people who play no games other than FIFA.
Right, for the whole year.
Yep. So I'm not expecting to get those 2 achievements, so I am done. I literally have run out of space on my hard drive.
Oh no.
Thank you everybody for the suggestions about bigger hard drives.
Right.
I'm going to politely decline. I need to be better about buying, playing, and finishing games rather than...
Yeah, you don't want to feed the beast. You want the beast to go away.
Yeah, the problem here is not so much hard drive space, more Moon can't control himself. Neither can Moon's wife control herself when it comes to buying things on deep discount and then never playing the games.
Right.
That's probably the main issue. And for the record, by the way, I have played FIFA 15 for 101 hours.
Oof.
And neither of those 2 things required to get those achievements have popped up.
That's insane.
Yeah. So, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done with FIFA 15.
No sense in hating the game more.
Yeah, especially when it's a game that's 5 years old at this point, essentially.
Right.
So let's play one that's 4 years old and play FIFA 16 instead.
There you go.
Which... I jumped in and realised how few easy achievements I have actually missed on that. Like, we'll get to that with the next game, but I jumped in, realised I had a bunch of achievements left, powered through, and got like 12 achievements in 2 days on FIFA 16. I'm down to 1 left on that. I'm debating. I might go for that. I might not. Probably not. We'll see. FIFA 16 will be out the door really, really soon.
Right.
Now on to FIFA 17. I played a lot of sports games this week, and they're all FIFA games. The funny thing about FIFA 17, and it made me laugh a little bit because it realised how much my playstyle changed from game to game, but also specifically what I played. I used to love Ultimate Team. Like, FIFA Ultimate Team was my jam when it first came out, because it's like, you play games, you get coins, you buy card packs, you use those card packs to get better players, you know, there's the buy, the sell, the trade, all that kind of stuff in it. And then they introduced microtransactions.
Right. They introduced the pin packs.
Yes. And They probably didn't, but this is EA throughout the course of 5 years who have gone from worst company in the world to the best company in the world to the worst company in the world again.
Right.
So it very much feels like, hey, you want one of the really, really good teams, really good players. Maybe you might want to drop this $10 and get these FIFA points so that you can, buy these limited edition packs.
It's only $10, and look at all these cool people you get. It's so easy.
These cool people you have the chance of getting.
Wink. These people you can get. Wink.
This pack contains a 99 rated Messi.
Mm-hmm.
For about 0.4% of the people who open it.
Right.
So, yeah. It feels a little dirty now.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
still enjoy...
It feels dirty because it is dirty?
Probably yes, to be completely honest.
I mean, I play a lot of gacha games on mobile, and even those aren't that bad. Because, like, the worst you can get is, like, you have a 3% chance to get a super rare... my daughter, everyone. You have, like, a 3% chance to get a super rare unit. It's definitely not, like, point something.
But, dude, it doesn't surface the percentages.
Until this year, when they surface the percentages, and they're still really gross.
In 19, do they actually surface the percentages?
Yep. They have to by law now.
They've got to by now, yeah.
Yeah, most companies. Or most countries. Most companies.
But, yeah, so I basically, loading up FIFA 17, I realized I played 2 modes in that game.
Mm-hmm.
2. I played the career mode, which... This is what really bothers me about the sports games, and not about the development, not about anything like that. This bothers me about the perception of the sports games. Everyone raved last year about Madden having a story mode and how amazing it was.
And you're over here with FIFA like, wait a minute.
The year before that, FIFA had the journey mode, which was the exact same thing. Everyone raved about Madden Ultimate Team and NHL Ultimate Team and NBA 2K15 Ultimate Team.
Wait a minute.
Dudes, FIFA's had this stuff.
FIFA 97.
Yes. The World Cup edition of FIFA 98, which was set in France, had that in it.
Yeah.
Along with the stupid, goofy French World Cup mascot guy who was like a chicken thing. I don't know, dude. World Cup mascots are weird.
Yeah.
But I basically, when it came to FIFA 17, I essentially played the campaign mode. And then I played online squads with my wife, and that's it.
Yeah.
I didn't touch Ultimate Team. I didn't touch the Women's International Cup. I didn't play any mode in that game except for online with my wife, because that's the way we like to play, because it's so much ridiculous fun.
Yeah.
Playing, like, squads, 2 versus 2 or whatever, but you only control your person on the pitch. Like, that mode is incredible. That mode should be in every, like, sports game. Like,
yeah, that
every
sounds
NBA
cool.
game. It's so... Dude, it's so fun, and it's even better when you get, like... Well, my wife and I, when we play, we can play okay. Sometimes we can play fantastically, and we will get up to, like, League 7, League 6, and then the second we get up to there, we start facing people who've got 4 human control players. And then when we start facing that many human control players, then we get worked.
Yeah.
And it becomes frustrating. So we kind of hit that point and then stop. But this is just kind of funny coincidence to me. Seeing me play FIFA made my wife play FIFA again.
Oh no.
And now she's installing FIFA 18.
Oh man.
Because FIFA 18 has the sequel to The Journey, which is The Journey Continues, which is the same character from the year before, continuing his journey in professional soccer.
That's pretty cool, though.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
And because we haven't bought a FIFA since 17, it's now in the vault, so now we can play it for free.
Even better.
Exactly. So, yeah, I'm playing FIFA 17 for reasons. Well, let's face it, it's
achievements.
It's achievements.
Yeah.
Let's get my percentage above 75%, and then let's just uninstall it, because I am at a serious crisis of conscience situation where it's like, oh no, Forza Horizon 4 is on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Red Dead Redemption 2 is right around the corner. Assassin's Creed Odyssey is right around the corner.
Yeah.
These are not small games.
No.
Until today, I had 12 gigabytes left on my 4 terabyte hard drive.
It's not even going to fit one of them.
No, it's not even going to fit the DLC for one of them.
Right. Well, now you can get rid of Forza Horizon 3, though.
No, I can't, because I do not have every single achievement in that game, and that is a game where I can actually get the achievements in it.
Yeah, but the drifting...
Dude, I have already done all of the drifting challenges.
Oh, you're good then.
Because I wanted to get them out of the way.
Now you just need to do Hot Wheels, probably, right?
Let's see. What on Forza Horizon 3? I'm pretty sure I'm like one achievement away from the base game completion.
Okay.
Because I've already done all of the tournaments, I've already done all of the exhibitions, I've already done all of the stars, so I've done all the drifts, all the jumps.
What's left then?
It's something stupid like the achievement where it's like get certain number of airs with the Morris Minor, like the 3-wheel car over that jump.
Oh, right.
It will be something stupid like that.
Right.
Is the one I haven't done.
Drive this car between 2 buildings. Look at how tiny it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Already done everything else. I've still got to finish up Blizzard Mountain, and I'm about halfway through the Hot Wheels stuff.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, I'm sure I can do that in a day.
Yeah. Before Tuesday.
Yes. I know, I can do that while I'm waiting for 4 to install. It'll be fine.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
So before Wednesday, probably.
Right.
But no, like, I need to clear space. So I also played some Dead Rising 3.
Ah.
Which, as my wife pointed out, was my pitch to Jess to try and get her to buy the new Xbox, the Xbox One, was, yo, dude, look at the amount of zombies on this screen, and sending her screenshots from the game.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Dead Rising 3 is still really, really good. Guess what achievements I have left in Dead Rising 3? This is the achievement cast, by the way, because that's my goal right now.
Yep. Is it the kill 80 bajillion zombies?
Nope. I've done that. Done all the DLC, except for one.
I don't know.
It's the Super Mega Ultra Dead Rising EX Alpha stupid DLC thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I need 4 players to do.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I'm put the notes out in the looking for group in our community Discord.
Yeah, the bat signal has been lit.
Yes. No, the Kaplunk signal has been lit.
Yes.
I think you'll find.
Yep.
I'll put that out in the looking for group in our community. If nobody wants to play with me and help me get my achievements, that's fine. I understand completely, especially if you've probably, like most people, already uninstalled Dead Rising 3 years ago.
Right.
That's fine. I get it. I've got TA for that. I can put up a thing and see if I can get them in there. I'll give it 1 or 2 shots on TA. If I don't get it, then as far as I'm concerned, I'm done. I don't care.
The stars just didn't align.
I got every single achievement in every DLC except for the weird one. So
yeah, the crazy Capcom
I'm fine
one.
with that. You know, I'm okay with that. My wife made a very good suggestion. Go into your games, sort them by size, and then figure out what ones you feel like you can complete. 2 jumped out at me straight away. Number 1, Titanfall 2. All single-player achievements. I haven't played this, so you don't have to write this one down. But I haven't. It's all single-player. It's all collectible related. I can do that, and it's 60, 70 gigs.
Wow. Oh boy, do I have that installed on my PS4? I think I do. I should go check that out.
Free updates, dude. They keep putting out free updates, free maps, free DLC. So that's fine.
Yeah.
Destiny 2.
Ah, well, just get rid of that guy.
I'm going to jump back into Destiny 2.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get the base game achievements that I can get.
Yep.
And then I'm going to throw that game on a garbage fire.
There's only one achievement you can't get right now, unfortunately.
Yeah, is that the Emissary 1 or whatever it is?
Yep.
Which
sucks.
Trials of the 9?
Yeah, Trials of 9.
So, hopefully, I'll get that thing done and dusted, and that's another 62 gig gone from my hard drive.
boy, only 62 gigs. That's nice.
It's like I'm sitting on a therapist's couch right now,
right,
talking about my space problems.
Like the biggest burdens you're relieving yourself of. Well, and it's something like Titanfall 2, it's so easy to keep installed on your console because it's one of those games you think you're going to get back to. Like, I think that's why I still have it installed. I was like, I could play the campaign again. It's pretty short. I could play some multiplayer. Like, there's a bunch of new Titans that it's never going to happen because I'm over here playing Destiny 2 too much.
Yeah. My wife and I had this conversation last night because we have different approaches. We have the exact same hard drive connected to our Xboxes. We have the same games available to the both of us. She has 1.1 terabytes free on her Xbox. And the way I have to describe my mental processes for this is I keep these things installed because the second I uninstall them, they will be forgotten about.
Yeah.
I will never think of that game again because it's not installed on my Xbox.
It's out of sight, out of mind.
Exactly.
Yep.
And stuff like What Remains of Edith Finch. I have every achievement in that game. That game is never being uninstalled from my system.
Yeah.
Because every time I get to my W's, I see that game and I think, that's a great game. I had such a great time playing that.
Right.
That is so good.
Yeah.
And that's fine because it's like a gig. I don't care.
It's the same with The Witness for me. Like, I still have The Witness installed. I'm not going to go back and play it. But every once in a while I think, maybe I could play The Witness again.
Mm-hmm. I have it installed too because it was Games with Gold.
There you go.
Do you know what else I have installed that begins with W? The Witcher. 2 and 3 because I'll find time for those two games.
Is so good. Yeah, what's so funny is like you and I are completely different on this because I have the stock hard drive in my PS4 Pro, which is a gig. And it's probably about 40% full. And that includes like Destiny 2 and Titanfall 2, and it's just I only keep the stuff that I'm playing installed. Everything else is either on disk, which is not going to take up any hard drive space, or it's just didn't make the cut.
Yep. That's my problem.
I did want to ask you, what Destiny 2 achievements do you have left?
I'm pretty sure I've basically got everything you can get through the normal campaign. I haven't done the raid.
Yeah.
The Leviathan raid, specifically. So I haven't done the raid. I haven't done the raid on Prestige mode or whatever.
Ugh, yeah.
Other than that, it is...
like do the Nightfall.
Yeah, the Nightfall and then alternate characters. Like, I had my one character class, and that was it.
Boy, those other two are going to take you a real long time.
Yes and no, because it's only like a 10-hour campaign, something like that.
Yeah, but you have to grind the other two subclasses to get the achievement.
Oh, true.
I would actually say between that and the raid, which the raid is going to... Even if you find a Sherpa, the raid's going to take you like 5 hours to do the first time. I don't know if I would say it's worth it.
Wait, hold on. Did Boston just tell me to uninstall Destiny 2 and F it all?
Here's the thing. Destiny 2 is really big. Number 2, Destiny 2 isn't getting better for you.
Nope.
And I don't want you to hate it more, which you're going to.
True.
You're gonna spend a bunch of time with a game that you didn't enjoy without the parts that made it better. Like, you won't have Forsaken, so...
Without the $60 that made it better.
Yeah, exactly. Like, to be clear, not okay, Bungie. You took another year to fix another Destiny game. But, like, I think you would still have a subpar experience to what you're looking for, so I'd say, get it on out of there.
Do you want to do the Strong Bad impression, then?
I've never really watched much Strong Bad, so... No.
Everybody knows the one Strong Bad impression that I'm talking about right now.
I'm Strong Bad and here's the mail. Was that it? Was that Strong Bad?
No, that wasn't it.
Okay.
It was deleted.
Okay.
Deleted is the reference I was looking for there.
Goodbye, Destiny 2.
Yep.
07.
Thank you. There's another 62 gig free.
There you go.
Out the way.
Yep.
The quest for space continues. I decided to go back to one of my most beloved games of 2016. Now, here is the question is, can you name the game of the year from 2016?
2016. Prey?
Okay, the second game of the year from 2016.
Well, now...
Hold on, let me look at my...
I don't know.
Prey was 2017, number one.
Boy, well, the 5 years that have been inside of 2018 makes it feel like 2017 was a long time ago.
How did this game end up number 9 on my list for 2016? I am disappointed in myself.
Boy, now I'm very curious.
It's Doom.
Oh. Well, I think Doom didn't click with you as much as it did with a lot of other people.
True, but now I'm playing it again. Yo, that game is amazing.
I'm very happy. As someone who has played the first level and went, boy, Doom is real good. I'm very happy about that.
Speaking of the first level, let's talk about the achievement I got today.
Okay.
Which Doom has a hardest difficulty achievement, all of these dumb games have these days.
Yep.
Wolfenstein 2, I'm looking at you, I ain't never getting that achievement.
Stupid game.
Do you want to know what Doom's hardest difficulty achievement is?
Just beat the first level on it?
Beat the first level on Ultra Madness, which is no checkpoints, no saves, no nothing, start to finish, do the first level.
Okay, that's not impossible.
Nope, I did it today.
All right. Deleted.
Nope.
Oh,
nope.
okay.
I've still got collectibles.
Sorry, I learned something about Strong Bad. I'm like drunk with power now.
Yes. So yeah, that achievement, best achievement name in a long time.
Ooh.
A Toe into Madness.
That's great. Ah, crap. That's great.
It's really, really good. So here's a fun fact about Ultra Madness on Doom 2016. Every time you die, it places a skull where you died.
Oh, okay.
That you can see where you died.
Oh.
And other people can see where you died.
Oh, my secret shame.
Yeah, so as I'm going through the first level several times to try and beat it on the hardest difficulty, I see skulls on the floor, and you walk up to them, you look at them, a little holographic projection comes up, and it's a gamer tag with what killed them on the hardest difficulty.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep, it's very Dark Souls.
Yeah.
And it's very, very cool. And in the end, I just ended up speedrunning it and basically using a let's not accidentally walk outside of the level, over the top, glitch through the ceiling, there's the exit button, boop, there you go, achievement unlocked.
Right.
I'd give it a college try. I died 10 times on that first level on the hardest difficulty on the last combat scenario in that level.
Oh my
every single time. And I was getting frustrated.
Yep.
And I saw a speedrun video where someone just glitched through the wall, and I thought, well, they've updated the game 20 times since this video was posted. No way does this thing still exist. Yes, it does. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
I will take my toe into madness.
And now you're like an amateur speedrunner.
Yes, now I am. It only took me 22 minutes, whereas the gentleman on the video did it in 2 minutes and 33 seconds.
Well, he's a professional, I mean.
And his included the intro cutscene.
Wow.
Mine didn't.
Yikes.
So,
but you got it done.
I got it done. That's the most important thing that matters. And I looked at my achievement list. It's like, oh, all the collectibles and all the side missions and stuff. I'm at like 88%, 89%, 95%, and so on and so forth. So I'm probably going to be revisiting Doom. And you know what? People can give me a bunch of comments about being an achievement hunter. This is one of the things I love about it, is I get to go back and play Doom 2016 again, and I am loving this so much. I literally, as I loaded up, I looked left, I looked at my wife, and I said, I'm going to make myself deaf now. And I put my headphones on, and I turned the volume up.
Oh, yeah.
Because the Doom 2016 soundtrack is...
Oh, it's so good.
So good.
Yeah, it's illegally good.
It might be one of my favorite soundtracks in video game history.
Yeah.
Because it is hard thrash death metal.
Yep.
No way it should possibly work, and it 100% does.
Oh, man.
Oh, Doom 2016 is so good.
Yeah.
Oh. My final game this week. Let's fill up some more space.
All right.
It's Hollow Knight.
Oh, thankfully it's tiny.
Which was thankfully gifted to me by a friend of the show, Boston.
Oh, you're welcome. I figured we had a text chat, and you were sort of on the fence about whether or not you were going to get it. And it's like, well, I like Hollow Knight a lot, and I think you will too. So I will gift you a well-animated, bug-like game.
Yes. Which, thank you for that. I think I've beat the first boss so far.
False Knight, I think is the first.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
I've defeated him. I've got my first skill.
Okay. The Hadouken.
Yes.
Spirit
Hadouken.
Something it's called. I don't remember what.
Yep. It kills enemies in one shot because it's downright fierce. Sorry, I cannot help but make that joke every single time.
The one thing the game doesn't tell you, I don't know if you figured out, but you can cast that in the air by hitting right bumper.
You can also cast it in the air just by hitting B.
That, for some reason, didn't work for me on any version of this game. So,
yep, 100% works for me.
Interesting. Yeah, I just used the right bumper because it's like a quick cast for whatever you set it to, and I just set it to that.
Yeah. I'm about to describe this in a way which I'm sure people will either love or hate. This feels like Tim Burton's Metroidvania so far.
Yeah.
And I kind of love it.
Do you like the art style?
I do. It's very interesting so far because I keep looking at it and think this is really cool. This is really, really cool. I would be madly in love with this if I was 15 again.
Yeah, like the art style is so divisive. I love it because I like that the characters aren't... the environments are very detailed, but the characters aren't. Like, your main character is basically just a cloak and this, like, broken head piece thing. Or the knight's head. Like, I'm not even entirely sure, but... I love it. I think it's something... It's one of those things where you look at the game and you're like, okay, I haven't seen something that looks like this.
Yeah. It's very unique. It's very individual, and... I like it. I'm not crazy about it. Honestly, I think if I was watching Beetlejuice still, or 1990, whatever it is it 89 Batman?
I think so, yeah.
Like, if I was in that kind of age range again, like the 9 to 14, 15,
right.
I would probably be all about this art style.
Yeah.
Or if I was, despite the fact that I'm wearing all black today, if I was still in my hardcore gothic phase,
right,
I would super duper be into this. But it's good, and the controls are interesting. I haven't played enough of it as of yet to give it a solid feel through on the controls, considering all I've done is jump and hit things. Yeah, and
you haven't gotten your first movement skill, right?
Nope.
Okay.
All I have so far is the Hadouken. I've freed a couple of worm grub looking things.
Yeah, the grubs.
Whatever they are.
Yep.
Yeah, they're weird. Yep. That's exactly the noise, and you can hear them. So,
yes,
like, there's one in this room.
Yep.
Where is the secret wall I need to hit?
It also does that sometimes with enemies, too, where you hear an enemy, and it's like, okay, there has to be a breakable wall, or like, is there something way above me?
Yep. The game is fun so far.
Yeah.
I'm very interested in it. I'm very terrified considering how much time you said you put into it.
Yeah. I played a bunch of that this week.
Oh no.
It's a lot easier because I sort of know the through line now, where it's like, I'm gonna go fight this boss and get this skill which can unlock this area and so on and so forth. So I have like 5 areas unlocked so far, because it's like going back through an early area in Dark Souls when you're at the end, where it's like, all right, I'm just swiping these skeletons like these. I'm not. Why am I afraid of these guys? Like, Hollow Knight, it's like, oh, I'm gonna fight this boss. Cool. I know how to pogo on his head indefinitely, so this is now not a challenge anymore at all.
Can I do that at the beginning?
Yeah, you can. One of the strongest moves. So, Boston's Hollow Knight suggestion corner. One of the
are we about to talk about the big fat knights who do the smashy attack downwards?
Those guys suck. Ugh.
Yes, they do.
There's one piece of advice that I've given everybody, because I read it on Kotaku, maybe, and I think it's the most important non-spoiler advice that someone can get for Hollow Knight, and it is, when the first time you find Conifer, the map guy, the guy who's humming,
dude does the stupid humming,
and it doesn't stop when you pick up the map, which is something I would have put in the game had I made it. It says humming. It goes on forever. Once you find him for the first time, his wife opens up the map shop in town. She's the one that sighs and goes like, Baffinata.
Yep.
She sells, the first two things she sells, one is a charm and one is the ink and quill. Even if you have to grind a little bit at the beginning of the game to get both of those,
I did.
Yeah, you really need to get those for anybody that's listening, because the quill and ink will update your map every time you sit at a bench, so it will draw all the areas you've been to. And the charm will mark your character on the map, so where you are specifically at that moment. I still maybe sort of don't understand why those weren't just built into the game, but I feel like Hollow Knight is one of those games where it's like, cool, if you want to do a run without any charms, like you don't have to get this basic charm, or like you want to see how much of the map you memorize by heart, you can do that. But that's one of the most important things, non-spoiler.
It does feel like it's trying to do a Dark Souls thing, where it's trying to give you as little information about anything as possible and let you find out through items and item descriptions, or find out through probably 20-minute long videos on YouTube explaining how, this bug person is connected to the bug person at the end of the game.
I feel like by the time you get to the end, if you're unlocking some of the side stuff, I feel like they do a really good job of fleshing out a lot of the characters that are in Dirtmouth, which is such a great name for a town. But the other advice I would give is the downward slash is really strong. There are very few enemies or bosses that will punish you for using it. So if you can get the timing right, you can kind of, especially enemies that like slash and dash at you at the same time, you can just kind of pogo bounce on top of them a couple times.
Like the shielded guys.
Yeah, like shield guys. Some of them will raise up their shield, which will give you a chance to hop down and slash their front. But yeah, pogoing is really strong, and will get you through some platforming challenges too. We'll let you break some of those. So yeah, Hollow Knight is really great. I am thoroughly enjoying playing through it again, and what I'm really excited about this time is I'm very happy to be using it on my preferred controller, because it just feels right. Joy-Cons aren't really great for platforming stuff, and I don't use the analog stick, so that was a little bit rough. But I'm really looking forward to doing as much of the game as possible. I would preferably love to go for the platinum, but that really depends on how hard some of the stuff in the game at the end is, and how much I want to, I guess, put up with it.
What is Steel Soul mode?
Steel Soul mode, I don't think there's an achievement for that, is there?
Oh, yes, there is.
Okay, Steel Soul mode, if I remember correctly, is... Let me look it up, because I don't want to steal...
I swear, if this is a you die, you're done kind of thing.
It might be.
I hope not.
Steel Soul mode, 3 main changes to gameplay. Player will not respawn upon death. Once a player dies, the game ends and the save file is reset.
So yeah, that's a 1 death.
Yeah. The Rancid Eggs person is replaced, and NPC that doesn't matter is removed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a don't die mode.
Yeah. That's rough.
It sucks.
Yeah. There was an achievement, probably in Windows, but definitely in the Switch one, where it was Steel Soul in under 5 hours. So I was never going to get all of those. But yeah, Hollow Knight's real great. I really like Hollow Knight. I'm glad you're enjoying the beginning, because I feel like that is, if you enjoy the beginning and what the game presents to you very early on, I feel like you'll probably enjoy the rest of it. For a lot of people, it just pushes them away immediately, where it's like, all right, you got...
I can see that art style, the art style not ringing well with people.
Yeah.
voice acting being very annoying for some people.
Right.
I can see a couple of things that people might just say, this is not for me, drop it and walk.
Right, I don't like Dark Souls style games, because I really hesitate to call...
it has a corpse run, that's all. That's the only thing it has.
Yeah, and like if you die when your corpse is out, then you lose all your geo, all your money. Then that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, Hollow Knight is good. I'm excited to hear what you think as you dig deeper into it.
Is that a pun intended?
Yeah, maybe a little bit, yeah.
Bugs dig.
Yeah. Man, there's so many cool bugs in this game. And I don't like bugs, but
I hate bugs.
A lot of cool
with a passion. Are there any ants?
I think Leg Eater might be an ant, or he's a cricket. I
Okay.
With the art style, I sort of can't tell, because like they have a bunch of segmented parts and they have antennae. Like it could be an ant, it could be I don't know.
Are his back legs huge or normal size?
He's sitting down, so I'm not sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll see. As long as they're not, like, attacking me, I'll be fine to play this in the living room.
No,
in the
yeah.
presence of
The only thing
of
that
the
really
significant
attacks
other.
you are like the things that attack you so far, and then like spiders, and bees,
Spiders?
stuff like that. Yeah,
Great.
yeah. I don't like spiders.
Yeah, me neither.
Did you play anything else this week?
Nope. That's pretty much it. My run through of old games and Hollow Knight.
Right. All right. I played Nintendo's new mobile game, Dragalia Lost.
Okay.
Fairly sure that's how you pronounce it. This was developed by Cygames, who was a studio that I recognized the name of.
Wait, are they Strike Force?
No. Well, this is a good story. I was starting to play it, and I was thinking, boy, it's a lot like Star Wars Galaxy of the Heroes and Strike Force, where you play it and you're like, this is the same... Like, they've made improvements, but this is the same game. Like, this is... What's happening here? And I look up, Cygames makes Grand Blue Fantasy, which I also play. I was like, oh...
Okay.
That's why they lifted literally everything from Grand Blue Fantasy. It's the same team.
Okay.
Yeah. So, it's a gacha game. You have recruitable units, and you're upgrading your weapons, and you're equipping dragons, and you're going through a pretty cheesy and not super interesting story mode. Two things that I think set it apart that I think are interesting. One is it's an isometric, directly controlled action RPG.
Okay.
So you're...
It makes a change for mobile phone games.
Yeah, and I think it looks really, really, really good. I sort of don't know how they made this game look that good. Sort of also like
look at Strike Force.
Yeah, like Strike Force, where it's like, how did you do? And it runs well. Like, how does this happen? So you're sort of dragging your finger. You drag your finger to point your character in a direction, and they just sort of run that way forever. So you're dragging your character around these small arenas. You tap on the screen to attack in front of you. It's fairly straightforward. The auto battle is really nice because not only is it auto battle, it just runs to the exit for you. So you run to the exit, it'll attack enemies on the way. It's pretty interesting. The one thing that is my weakness, though, that thankfully they don't have in Grand Blue Fantasy, is a castle building mode.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no, they've got a base building mode, so...
Yeah. And it's pretty good, because it's going to give you upgrade materials and in-game currency and stuff like that. And
so it's Peace Walker, Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yeah, that sort of stuff.
Where the JRPG that came out last year that I can't remember the name of.
Ni no Kuni 2.
That's the one.
Yep. Yeah, that sort of stuff. The hard part for me about this game is I'm already playing Grand Blue Fantasy, and I'm deep into that. So there's really no reason for me to play this game, because I don't feel pulled into it the way that I did with Grand Blue Fantasy, because the story's not super great. It's pretty tropey, and the gameplay isn't significantly different enough from Grand Blue that I would want to play this instead. So I think if you haven't played any of Cygames games before, I would recommend trying this. It's a free download. It's free to set up. You link it to your Nintendo account, which probably does something. I don't know. But it's a pretty good time, and I feel like it's early on. It's not unfair about the gacha, pulling and currency and all that. So I feel like it gives you a good enough indication of what gacha games are and how this studio operates them. If you give it a shot and it doesn't click with you, you've only lost maybe an hour or two. Nothing real crazy.
Is that iOS, Android, or is it the usual Nintendo stuff of just on iOS for now?
I thought it's also Android, but I don't know for sure. I know I'm playing it on iOS, so I know it's out there. I'm surprised they didn't put it on Switch, but I'm not sure why. Yeah.
I'm sure they've got a full version of that on the way soon.
Probably. Yeah, like Grand Blue Fantasy's full version that's just never going to come out. Diablo 3 Season 15 has started, which coincidentally also started when I got sick again. Blizzard.
Yeah, this is a very interesting connection. You get sick.
Yeah.
Blizzard starts a new season. Question. Are Blizzard watching you? Or are you really not a stay-at-home dad? You're a stay-at-home developer.
That's right. Yeah, I got sick and I'm like, okay, let's push the Season 15 button so I have something to play. Yeah. Season 15's big boon. Season 14 was the first time they tried to do like a benefit for the season, like an exclusive benefit. Last season was when a treasure goblin or whatever they are spawns, two of them spawn at the same time. This season is when you finish all of the adventure mode. When you go in adventure mode and you have like the 5 quests in an act, when you finish one of those, they give you a cache that has plans and gems and weapons in it. When you get one of those, you get 2 caches. So you just
that's pretty great.
Yeah, and I think that's pretty great because you're getting all these, the materials you need
the super rares, the super high-end stuff.
Yeah, and like getting all the stuff to re-roll your stats on your weapons and Death's Breath, which you need for everything at the end of the game. So you're getting double of those, which I think is like last season. It's a fun way to give you a benefit and make the season a little bit fun, but it's definitely not going to break the game. So I think that's pretty cool. I'm actually I created another Demon Hunter like I always do, and I was like, okay, hold on. I keep rolling into this season and creating a Demon Hunter and just like blowing through this content super fast for no...
Let's try something else.
Yeah, and for really no reason, because no one else is playing on PS4, so no one's on my leaderboards. So I created a Necromancer, the class I haven't played. Yeah, the DLC class. I'm sort of having fun with that. I sort of feel like I've gotten through all 4 of the primary challenges from the season. So I got the exclusive pet, which is like a walking disembodied hand, which is kind of fun. But I feel like I'm still learning the class, but it seems interesting where it's a ranged class that's cursing enemies and using all of your resurrected bodies to fight for you. So I know I'm not playing it the most optimal way. I'm sure I could find some 15-page wiki article about here's the right build for a Necromancer, which is why I haven't...
No, 100% you could.
Yeah, I could. Well, and what's really great is they only give you one set of legendary armor, whatever the green color is.
I don't know.
Yeah,
set armor?
Yeah, set armor probably. I don't know. But the armor they gave you this season corresponds directly with the build I've already made. Like, I didn't look at the build early on. So I just got the last 2 pieces, so I have the full 6 pieces. And every time I call up a skeletal archer or mage, it increases every one of my familiar's damage by 1,000 up to 4,000%. So
that sounds like fun.
Yeah, so the build I already like is now ridiculous strong, and that's kind of a happy accident, and I totally dig that. Just a short little bit about Destiny 2. The third week of the Dreaming City repeating weeks happened this week, and shucks howdy, they just released a whole butt ton of content. They released...
Makes a change.
The amount of content that's in here is so crazy. They released not one but two exotic quests to get two of the most sought-after exotic weapons. One of them starts in Gambit, and one of them goes through a bunch of stuff. The Wish Ender is the bow. It goes through a bunch of stuff I won't spoil, because it's a pretty big spoiler. So they did that. They released a new PvP mode called Breakthrough, which I haven't played yet. It released like 4 new maps for seemingly no reason. And then they released Destiny 2's first dungeon. And it's weird that they decided on that name for this, but basically it sits in between a strike and then the raid. So essentially it's a 3-man raid.
Okay.
And it's only going to be around once every 3 weeks, but it's the light level cap right now is 600. It's a 590 light level difficulty event. I'm 540, so I'm significantly far away, but
yeah.
What's so exciting to me with all of this content they keep adding in, and I'm not a raider, so that removes part of the equation, is I have so many goals to chase now when I get my light like 30 or 40 higher, which for me is probably going to take a couple of months. And that's really exciting because it's not just, get to 580, 590, so I can eventually get to 600 and say, okay, I did it. I got to the top. It's so that I can do these things to get exotic weapons or get emblems and triumphs, and I have so much content still left in front of me that I can't do yet because I haven't leveled up enough yet, and that's really... Like, we still can't do the Nightfall yet, because it's 540, and we tried a couple days ago, and it just wasn't happening yet. And that's super cool, because as soon as I get a little bit higher, I have this whole new weekly piece of content that me and the crew can go do, and I think that's really exciting.
And once you've done that a couple of times, you'll have the next step up. So you'll have the next set of content to go and do.
Yeah, exactly.
It's almost like they should have had it this way from the start. Mm-hmm.
From like Destiny 1 year or 2, when they figured all this out. Bungie. The other thing too is we got a 4-person crew for Gambit running last night, and it's a 4v4 mode. So that was all.
Did you wipe the floor?
No. we ran into a couple of teams of professional killers.
Okay.
A lot. We had like 2 or 3 matches back to back that were really bad, where it's like they have summoned their primeval, which is 75 motes. We have 15 motes. So it's sort of like, okay, we're gonna lose this one. All right. But I mean, that's how competitive modes go. That's.
Yeah, that's the thing that's always got to me about competitive. It's like we were talking about earlier with FIFA playing. My wife and I playing FIFA together on the online pro clubs mode. Mm-hmm. It's like you get good, you get really good, and you're like, yeah, now we're killing everyone.
Yep.
And then because you join up as a group or a squad or something, then all of a sudden you get bumped straight in with another squad.
Right.
And you think you're good. But you ain't nothing compared to them.
These 4 dudes play this game for 4 hours a night in the same room. Every night.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, and the great part about Gambit, it's the same thing with quick play PvP, is even if you lose, you still get rank points. You get more if you win. You get like 50 if you lose. You get 150 or 200 if you win without any win streaks. So even if you lose, sure, they beat the crap out of us in like 10 minutes flat when most of these matches take 30 minutes. That's cool. I still got some points. I got a little bit of loot. That's great. It's nice. So it's like it's not like, oh, you lost, you got 0 points. You just wasted your time. So I think that's really great. And last but not least, Vampyr.
Tell me about Vampyr.
The big patch came out this week for the additional difficulties.
funnily enough, I finally have enough space to update it, so that's getting updated today.
Nice. And I think it also has like a whole bunch of bug fixes and story breaking fixes and stuff like that. Understandably, but it's a bummer. You cannot change the difficulty once you have started a game.
Okay. I get it.
I understand why they did that. So I started a new game. I started a new game on story mode. The only thing that you get restricted on in story mode is you cannot get the trophy for not killing anybody in story mode.
Okay, that's...
Makes sense.
You know what? That's actually really good.
Yeah.
It's a genuinely good thing, because playing through the campaign mode and not doing a quick little slurp, as you put it,
yep.
playing through it like that way has made the game more difficult for me. But again, I am the type of person who enjoys that difficulty, so bring it on.
Yeah, I saw that when you go pick it, it says, hey, the only thing it's going to block you on is blah, blah, blah. And I was like, that's fair. I can understand why you don't want people changing difficulty in mid-game. Also understand that. All of this seems fair. So I started a new game, and I blew through, skipping cutscenes and dialogue and all that stuff, making the same choices. Because I know there would be like some right choices that I didn't make, but that's not the game. That's not like the playthrough I'm playing right now. So
yes.
I made all the same right and wrong choices.
Did you do a little slurp?
Yes, I did the first little slurp. just a tiny one.
Just a little one.
Yeah, because I still want the same experience all over again, because I made that choice once,
you want to, as the game puts it, you want to live with your decisions.
Yeah, exactly, and I don't want to... I'd prefer, if I'm going to game these choices, I would almost prefer to go through and play a second time with like 100% guide and do that. But I've got my playthrough. The game on story mode is hilariously easy. It is like I upgraded the damage you do when you bite enemies.
Okay, which in my game, that's not even a slither. That's literally nothing off their health. That's literally, you get blood points. That's it.
It does about half damage. just for a little slurp. Like if an enemy is any level below me, I'm hitting them about 3 times with the base level weapon, and they're dead. If they're above me, I'm hitting them 4 or 5 times.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So
good on them. It's a story mode that lives up to its name.
Yep. And I'm not like one-shotting enemies, which that would feel bad. Like if it was I'm level 6 and they're level 15, I go over and I just poke them, and they just, oh no, ugh, vampire killer. Like I would have, that would have been bad too. But I'm primarily in it for the story, especially because the combat just isn't great. It is serviceable, but not something.
That's the ideal word. It's a serviceable combat.
Yeah, and I probably would have, if it would have been better, I probably would have been more happy to stick with the difficulty, because I feel like my skills could have overcome the lack of slurp difficulty.
Yes.
But I feel like it really couldn't. So I'll just play it on story mode and just kind of enjoy talking to the crazy lady who thinks she's a vampire.
Yep.
And the guy that has the messed up face that lied about it. So.
Wait, which guy has the messed up face that lied about it?
He's the guy who has the burn damage on his face, and he lets the fake vampire lady chomp on him every once in a while.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the guy with the throat injury who lied about how he got his throat injury. Okay.
Okay, yeah. I'm like right at that point where he's about to tell me that he's lying, but it's very clear he's lying about it, so... Yeah, I'm back on
Everybody in that game is lying about something.
Yes. I'm back on the blackmail train now, so
yep.
I'm pretty excited to get back into it. It's unfortunate that there are more great games coming out this week, which we'll talk about in a minute, but Vampire's storytelling and its characters and its voice acting, all the stuff we talked about last week, to me is the draw. So story mode is a no-brainer.
Yep. Don't be like me. Listen to the first 30 minutes of today's episode. Don't be like that.
Yeah. And, I mean, to be fair, Donut also introduced a harder difficulty, too, which sounds like an undying nightmare.
Yep. Quite literally, considering it's a vampire game.
Hey, I'd be curious to see, once people get some time with it, I'd be curious to see if someone has a guide for that mode specifically, because it almost seems like you'd have to balance between chomping down on as many people as you can without the sector falling into total disarray.
Yep.
But not making the game harder than it needs to be on the leveling side. Sounds ridiculously tough.
Yeah, it sounds ridiculously tough for them to actually make this game as well, so full credit for them for that, the amount of systems they've got intertwined in this thing.
Yeah. But that's all the games I've been playing this week, so let's take a break. Let's talk about releases for the week of October 1st, 2018. Mega Man 11 comes out for PC, Switch, Xbox One, and PS4.
I have literally never played a Mega Man game. Ever. Not a single one of them.
That's surprising.
Why?
My initial thought was like, boy, which game should I recommend him?
None of them is the answer to that. I don't need more games, Boston.
I know.
Please see what's next on the list, and after that on the list.
I feel like a Mega Man game probably should be on a required reading list, but that's like picking which one of, if like Sonic 2 or Sonic 3 is better. It's like, I don't even want to open that can of worms.
Sonic 2 is better, number one.
Yeah, Sonic 3 is better, you're right. See, that's why I don't want to open the can of worms. Because I hold the very unpopular opinion.
3 is great.
Yeah.
3 is incredible. 2 is better.
I will not disagree. Both are fantastic games.
Yes.
I like 1 a lot too, but it's a very different game.
Yes.
Although the one they just put on Switch, they included Spin Dash and the Drop Spin Dash into one. I thought that was cool. You can turn that off if you want.
Yeah.
But that's kind of neat. Next game, Forza Horizon 4, coming out for PC and Xbox One.
Yay. And I've seen people on my friends list playing this already because they got the wonderful edition of it.
Yep.
And now I feel I can't. Who was it? Someone posted on Twitter, I believe, about how us Game Pass plebs get it on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Which, yeah.
I was talking to Musim last night, I think it was, and he said he was still installing the 22 gig patch.
Yep.
And that, I will say again, I understand why we can't do it. That is the reason I would really like to preload Game Pass games. I get it.
I am not going to lie. I try to be in bed by 11:15, 11:30 at the latest on Monday night.
And at 12:01 a.m.
At midnight 01.
Yep. Yeah. I'm going to do the same thing. Like, as soon as I wake up, I will download that and get the whole thing set. The thing I totally forgot about until I was watching Jeff Gersman's review, the video review on Giant Bomb, I forgot you can also download Game Pass games on PC. So...
Okay, that I did not know.
Yeah, so I'm going to also install it on my PC and see how far I can push it. Because he said, apparently, they did some sort of dark magic with Forza Horizon 4, and apparently...
Is it cross-save?
No, well, I think. More importantly, basically, it encourages you not to go into the video settings when you start up, because it's going to dynamically figure out how far it can push your machine over, like, the first couple of races.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I really wish a lot more PC games would do that, because obviously I understand what I'm doing in there, I don't want to fart around with it. So, that's cool.
I understand the basics of it. I don't want to touch any of those settings.
Yeah.
Do you know what happens when I play PC games? I load her up, it says, do you want to optimize? I click yes.
Yep.
It picks a bunch of settings for me, and then I play the game.
Yeah, and then you go, boy, that looks good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I have an okay video card, so I'm sort of excited to see how well optimized this game is, because Forza Horizon 3 eventually got there, but I'm hoping 4 is a little bit smoother out of the gate. Fist of the North Star Lost Paradise comes out for PS4. This is the Yakuza team's Fist of the North Star game.
Oh, no.
I know.
No.
Your chocolate got in my peanut butter. Whoops, it tastes real good. So, won't be picking this up for a real long time, because I have 2 unfinished Yakuza games sitting on the pile right now. I don't need anything else like this.
I have every Yakuza game on my I must buy this pile. I don't need another Fist of the North Star game added on top of my already overflowing exclusive pile on the PlayStation 4.
Yeah. Next up, Assassin's Creed Odyssey comes out for PC, PS4, and Xbox One.
Yay!
I'm surprised this is coming out. I thought it was a couple weeks out, but I can't afford Assassin's Creed Odyssey, so I'll have to wait to pick this one up too.
I thought this was a little bit out as well,
and
then I realized I've been seeing a lot more advertisements on my social media feeds for it, which made me realize it's getting closer and closer.
I guess I have started seeing ads for it on Instagram.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Twitter and Ubisoft, because I love Ubisoft, so of course I follow them on Twitter.
Right.
They post hilarious Rainbow Six GIFs.
Oh, do they? I'll have to follow them.
They posted a great one, which is one dude, 1v1 final minute of a game in Rainbow Six Siege. And this guy's got like an LMG, and he's like, well, they never taught me how to fire this gun, so here we go, I guess. And he just pulls the trigger and starts running through the map, firing bullet holes at every single thing on the walls.
Spraying and screaming.
Walks into the room with the objective, guy walks across slightly, headshot by accident, round 1.
That's really great.
Hilarious.
Oh, man. Yeah, I'm going to have to follow them then, because that sounds really good.
Yeah.
And last but not least, nobody wins because Super Mario Party is now out on Switch. So sorry.
I look forward to Super Mario Party.
Yes.
That is all I'm interested in for one of these things.
Yes. Oh man, that's so good.
What are they going to have to reset the series name and call it Super Mario Party 1 again?
That'd be really good. Oh man. Alright, let's hit up our news story. Let's start with a showstopper. Sony has finally figured out how to do crossplay on the PS4.
No. They haven't finally figured it out. They've finally realized maybe this is something we should do.
Yeah, I am. There's a couple of things I'm disappointed in with this. One is the amount of time it took them. You know, even Sean Layton was like, it just took us a lot of time to figure out the business stuff of this. And it's like, all right, it'd be nice if you stopped lying to me, but okay.
Yeah.
I was really pretty disappointed in the blog post they made, because it was just a business focused press release, as opposed to, you've been asking for it and we finally did it. That was pretty disappointing. There could have been a level of transparency there that we sometimes see from Sony. We did not this time.
No, this is starting to sound an awful lot like you'll want to have a second job to buy our console. So
yeah, this is begrudging Sony, where it's like, look, you guys bothered us nonstop for the last couple months. Fine, we just did it. Fine, we'll do it. So right now in beta is the crossplay for Fortnite. I haven't heard anyone have any issues with it. Apparently it just works, which is the shocker of the year.
My favorite thing about this is it's in there for Fortnite. Is Rocket League gonna get it? Is Minecraft gonna get it?
Apparently Sony is working with all those guys to get that. Like, those are the next games. Is we're gonna start walking through these bigger games to get all of them working sort of one by one. Well, is Psionic the?
Yeah, Psionic's Rocket League.
Yeah, they Kotaku talked to them and they're like, hey man, we'd love to. We don't have anything to announce right now. You could bother Sony. So it sounds like they're...
Yeah, it sounds like the blocking in all of this situation is Sony and everything.
Yeah. So obviously they're going to...
Bethesda say the same thing again?
Yeah, obviously they're going to attack Fortnite first because that's the game that started this whole hoopla.
Yep.
But so far, so good. The thing that I've been really disappointed on is the reaction of a bunch of people to this announcement saying, that's awesome because crossplay is the future. And I was like, no. Crossplay was the future when the PS3 and the 360 launched.
Yeah.
Launched. That's 15 years ago. So...
Oh, wow.
Crossplay is not the future now, it's the base level expectation, and if Nintendo did it before you did, you screwed up. Control W.
I'm not going to say I agree with Microsoft and Nintendo getting on Twitter and congratulating each other and patting each other on the back about this whole thing.
Being a little snarky about it.
Yeah, but at the same time, Sony kind of deserves it.
Yeah. The other weird part about this news story is Bethesda coming out. Pete Hines saying Fallout 76 does not support crossplay for a number of reasons. I have no idea if it ever will. Record scratch. You're the dude that put his D on the table and said, if you want Fallout 76 on your platform but Bethesda games on your platform, I think you really need to support crossplay. And this dude's coming out and being like, whoa, crossplay for Fallout. That's crazy. That we never... No, that's crazy.
You know what I think this is? I think this is them never expecting Sony to back down.
No, they were putting out some PR stuff being like, yeah, we'll join. Yeah, we can get some people buying Fallout. Ooh, they did it. Crap. Fallout 76 isn't out yet.
Exactly what this is.
Yeah.
This is... Record scratch, Briggs squeal, let's...
So someone kicks down Pete Hines' door and they're like, they did it. Pete Hines is like, oh, never thought they would. Come on, Sony. So I guess another reason not to buy Fallout 76. I'll pound the mountain of other ideas. The Appalachian Hills of other ideas. Next news story, Vivendi. We're almost done with the Vivendi Ubisoft.
Was that Ubisoft stock merged into one word?
Yepers. That's what they need to sell in their merch store, the Ubisock.
Ubisoft.
Yep.
Oh. No.
Little Red Hot Chili Peppers reference there for you.
And you can go a couple of different directions as well. Mm-hmm. In the South Park poop sock reference.
Yeah, that's another way. Yeah. Anyways, Vivendi plans to relinquish the last of its Ubisoft stock by 2019. Vivendi says they only have 6.7% of stock, which only is worth $581 million US.
May I say again, Ubisoft is one of the greatest publisher and developers on the planet right now, with some exceptions, obviously. But when you look at their track record over the past 5 years compared to, I don't know, EA, compared to, I don't know, Bethesda.
Activision Blizzard.
Yeah, Activision Blizzard.
Pretty much a lot of other companies, yeah.
Yeah, Telltale.
Yeah. Yeah, I am surprised. I will be happy when we will stop the coverage of this news story. Because they are... Oh, there's a cat. I will be happy that Ubisoft will be free of this once potential hostile takeover.
Yeah, and we don't have to worry about Yves Guillemot getting on stage at every E3 and either begging us to not let Vivendi do it,
right,
or crying about how we succeeded in not letting
crying
Vivendi
with his
do it.
Vivendi t-shirt on. They did it.
Yeah.
Please buy Just Dance.
Yeah.
And last but not least, Nintendo has clarified their cloud saves deletion policy.
Yeah, because so many people rallied against it. That's why.
Yeah, and I feel like this was just a communication error because they came out and they're like, no, man, we keep the saves for 6 months. Why? I was like, oh, you should be clearer about that. And I think their response was, okay, cool. It sounded like this was the 6 month
lost in translation
buffer. It was just there the whole time, and they just sort of didn't communicate it well enough, which
is a
weird.
Nintendo trope.
Yeah, weird. All right, let's move on to questions here, because we have a whole bunch carried over some from last week that we couldn't get to. Angelo F. sent us an email titled New versus Old. It says, I recently and finally picked up a Switch for myself and my kids, and it's been great. What's funny, though, is that it seems I've renewed my 5-year-old son's interest in playing Wii U games. Okay, that's unexpected. So now when I ask if he wants to play Super Mario Odyssey, he says no, because he wants to play Super Mario 3D World instead. My question is, have you ever got a new console or game and you still kept going back to older stuff, even with the new and shiny things you just got? Thanks, Angelo. P.S. I can't believe I've been listening to your show on and off because kids and adult life mostly on for about 10 years at this point, being one of the first few video game podcasts I discovered. Also, my last email to the show was a year ago, almost to the day, September 26th, 2017. Weird how time flies. Thank you for listening for a crazy long amount of time.
Yep.
I feel like every time a new console comes out, I say I'll go back, like, oh, look at this giant these games are so good, and I don't have that many games for this new platform, and that never happens.
It happened with me, actually, with the 360 to Xbox One transition. Mm-hmm. I got the Xbox One. I played it a lot, but I was still at the time playing a lot of 360 games.
Yeah.
Because at that point in time, the Monday Night Crew had all moved over to the Xbox One, and that's what we were playing on there.
Oh, right.
But my now wife still had a 360, so I was playing most of my non-Monday Night or multiplayer games with her.
Makes sense, right.
So I was bouncing between the two depending on who I was playing with at the time.
Right. Yeah, I feel like this last generation was a really great opportunity to do that, because the 360 still had and still has an incredible library.
Yeah.
I think
other than the PlayStation 2,
it
probably has the best library of video games, period.
I'd say also the DS. I feel like that gets looked over a little bit. There's a lot of really great stuff on that platform.
There's a lot of really great stuff on the DS and the 3DS. However, there is a whole bunch of trash mob Burned on a Fire.
Oh, absolutely.
Games on those as well.
Yeah, you want to look at the PS2's trash. That's some bad trash.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but that I feel like that was probably the best opportunity, and I wasn't expecting me to really enjoy the PS4 as much as I did, so the 360 sort of got an early retirement, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And a lot of that stuff's gotten remastered anyway, so...
Yeah. And backwards compatible on the One as well.
Backwards compatibility on the One is really good. All right, let's hit up a couple questions from last week. T-Bomb Rocks in Discord asks us, Castlevania Requiem, Shadow of the Night, and Symphony of the Night, and Rondo of Blood has just received a rating courtesy of the Game Rating and Administration Committee in Korea. Do you see both games being ported or remastered? With Sony announcing the PS1 Classic coming out later this year has me thinking, what games unannounced should be on the system? Okay, so what they said with Symphony of the Night and Rondo of Blood is they're just ports, but they're doing some upscaling to 4K, which sounds like it's going to look real bad. So
yeah, though I played the 360 Castlevania game, whatever it was called.
Harmony of Dissonance?
Yes, the Castlevania HD game. Yes. And their DS games as well, which was... what was
Dawn of Sorrow?
Dawn of Sorrow, and there was another one as well.
Despair.
I thought it was
Solitude.
Aria of Sorrow and something.
Oh yeah,
else.
Aria of Sorrow and Dawn of Sorrow, I think.
Oh, who knows?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Bunch of dumb names.
Yes. I played that, and those things that looked incredible, but that was handmade for the 360.
That's true. Yeah. That's a good point.
I don't know what the hell. I don't want to. I've got backwards compatibility. I've got Symphony of the Night. I've never played Rondo of Blood. I've played one Castlevania game in that style. I played the 360 one, which was incredible.
Right.
Not the HD one.
Right.
But the. What was his name? The Robert Carlyle one, where it was Robert Carlyle and Sir Patrick Stewart or whatever it was.
God, it's the one I really like. The 3D one. Lords of Shadow.
That's the one.
Oof.
I played that one.
Yep.
Then I played the HD one. and I've played Symphony of the Night.
Yep.
I have Symphony of the Night in backwards compatibility. I don't need it to be upscaled or re-resed or any of that kind of stuff, because that game is as perfect as you can be for a game that's that old.
Well, and here's the weird part. It's not coming to any other platform because Konami made a publishing deal with Sony, and the way that Sony and Konami worded it, it almost sounded like Konami took all of the assets for these two games and just pushed them at Sony, and it's like, here, if you want them, you figure it out, whatever.
Like the Final Fantasy VII remake,
or like any
Shenmue.
Capcom game or Konami games that they're making, which is none.
Yes.
Whoops.
Hey, they still make a soccer game.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that just prints money. So, he also asks, what are some titles you think are must-haves? I would think Resident Evil 1 or 2 and Castlevania Symphony of the Night, but with the Resident Evil 2 remake and the recent rating of Symphony of the Night, I doubt that's the case.
I mean, if you're talking about the PS1, called the Mini, whatever that thing is, must-have games very much depends on individuals. So there has to be a Resident Evil in there, but everyone has their Resident Evil. So, right. Boston, what's your Resident Evil?
God, the first one's the only one I've finished.
2 for me.
I feel like 2 is probably the one you want to pick, because I feel like that's the best one out of 1 and 2. But with the remake coming out, I don't know if that's marketing or if Capcom would say, like, no, just put the first one on there, but I don't know. I feel like
they might.
They already picked like
there.
Ridge Racer 4 and Final Fantasy 7. Those are definites. Symphony of the Night would probably be a given too.
Yeah, that's your big racing game. That's your big JRPG.
Yep.
Big Metroidvania and Symphony of the Night.
Yep.
Probably Resident Evil 1, let's face it. It's probably going to be that one for your survival.
They'll probably put the director's cut one on there with the different FMV intro and call it, like, Never Came to the States. You know, that thing.
Fighting game.
Oh, God.
If it was a mini Saturn, I'd say the Fighters Megamix, but it's not a mini Saturn, so it can't be Fighters Megamix.
God, there weren't...
Dead or Alive 2?
No, that didn't come out on PS1. That came out on PS2. Maybe a Tekken game, an early Tekken game, but so many of those fighting games were... Oh, no. You put out Bushido Blade. The square one-hit kill samurai game.
There's one.
Much beloved.
That can be a weird inclusion. But you gotta have a classic fighting game in there.
Bloody Roar 2, maybe?
Come on, it's gonna be Tekken, and it's gonna be the first Tekken without the bowling and without all the other fun stuff in there. So.
Oh, no, they put out, what is that PlayStation exclusive, really bad fighting game that came out at launch? It was one of the long box games. Oh, no. I'll have to look it up. I know you'll know it as soon as I say it.
I probably won't, dude. I was not a PlayStation kid at all. Not until way later in its life cycle. Crash Team Racing has to go in there as far as I'm concerned.
I'd love Crash Team Racing on there. That's a great game that I feel like so many people haven't played yet.
No. It is a way underrated game.
Yep.
Oh, it's just a Mario Kart ripoff. You are correct. Guess what? I think it's better.
Well, it's also a little open world, too.
Yep.
Yeah. Battle Arena Toshinden.
Oh, no.
Those games are bad, but I feel like they were foundational to how games looked at launch, where it was so much better than what the Saturn put out. You looked at that game and you're like, okay. Yeah, we have... This thing looks good.
Medieval,
yeah, that's actually supposed to get a remake too, but I think they quietly canceled that.
That thing, and I hate to say it because you can get it on pretty much everything these days. I have it installed and have not played it yet. Shocker enough. The Abe games.
Yeah, especially that first one.
Odyssey and Exodus are two of my favorite weird puzzle platformers.
Oh, those games are so good.
They're really, really great.
My other two, I have a one that's a shoo-in and one that's impossible. Shoo-in is Jumping Flash.
I don't even know what that is.
It's a first-person robot rabbit jumping puzzle game.
Okay,
it's really weird. The other one that I think should happen, but I think it's almost an impossibility at this point, is Wipeout.
Yeah.
Or Wipeout XL/20... What was the British title? 2064?
I don't know.
Something like 2048, something like that.
It might be in 2048.
Yeah.
Zoe. Zone of the Enders.
That was PS2.
Was that PS2?
Yeah.
Ugh. Then yeah, honestly, Wipeout should be in there. Wipeout is until Sony bought the studio, shut them down, and shipped them off to elsewhere.
Yeah,
like Sony Liverpool was one of the best racing game developers on the planet.
Yep,
and they developed one racing game.
Yep. Man, the only other game I forgot about is Twisted Metal 2.
Oh, yeah, but I hate car combat games, so, yeah.
I feel like that is a game that has not aged at all. But
most PlayStation games haven't aged at all.
Yeah, but it's sold so many copies. Dimebag in chat says Einhander. That's a really great choice. A game's super rare, and it's really great. Square Enix's only shmup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when you get right down to it, Nintendo are going to run into this with the mini N64,
yeah,
and everybody's going to run into this now. Now that they've done NES, now that they've done SNES, you are officially the only one you could probably get away with is Saturn, because that ran the side-scrolly style games so great.
Yep.
Everything else, these things might sell well, but the games on it are going to be hot garbage because these games do not hold up.
No.
None of these games hold up anymore.
2D games hold up really well. Early 3D games are so bad looking.
It's going to be hot garbage. Most of the games on this mini PlayStation are going to be hot garbage.
Yeah, there's a few exceptions, like
prepare themselves.
Ridge Racer 4 will still be really good. Final Fantasy 7 does not look good. I mean, even on, PS4, Xbox One, PC, still doesn't look that good.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, for Final Fantasy 7, literally, go and play the original release and think about where society has come since 1997.
Yeah.
I give you Barrett's first couple of lines to you
yep.
as a prime example of really, really bad racial stereotypes.
I still really wish they would retranslate that at some point.
They need to, and it's the issue. I think you might have mentioned it in Discord or something. It's the issue they're going to run into with remaking 7.
Yep.
If they don't remake it exactly as it was made, it's not a remake.
Yep.
If it's a remaster and it's not close enough to the first one,
it's not faithful enough,
they're going to annoy everybody who loved the first one.
Yep.
The only way they can remake Final Fantasy 7 is to redo a whole bunch of characters, and
yep.
that's going to change motivations, it's going to change the whole plot line, it changes everything.
Yep. For better or for worse.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see what they do with that when it comes out in 2042.
Yes. The first episode comes out in 2042.
Yeah, when we are all driving in our Wipeout machines.
Yes. Oh, man, if only. Death2K on Discord asks, so I got my second platinum in Marvel Spider-Man 2018 in less than 3 months, which was surprising for me. Not being a big trophy hunter, would you say developers have made it easier to complete the trophies list? What would you prefer, a challenging list for bragging rights or a less stressful process for satisfaction?
I like a mix of them both.
Yeah.
It depends on the game. Each individual game will have its thing. Spider-Man does it really well. You have to get all the collectibles, that's fine. That's kind of a given at this point. You don't have to play it on the hardest difficulty.
Nice.
That much I like. I love games that do not have a beat this on the hardest difficulty, because I will play it on the hardest difficulty and I will beat it on the hardest difficulty. Yep. And I'm not going to lie, I'll probably enjoy it on that difficulty as well.
Right.
Because I am a sadist, apparently.
Right.
But don't have those things in there in the first place. That's great. Don't like all the collectibles is fine. The thing I like that Spider-Man does is it's not it's not an Assassin's Creed game where you literally load up the map and it's like, oh hey, here is 1,000,000 chests that you have to pick up to get the full.
These ones are only open with the app.
Yep. I give you Assassin's Creed Unity, which, no joke, took me 2 years to get every single achievement in that game.
There's so many.
Because of the collectibles.
Yep.
And not to mention the stupid bonus missions in the timelines where it's like, to fully sync this memory, you need to.
Oh god, that's right. They used to do that. Do this follow mission without being seen.
Yeah.
I think God of War is probably one of my recent ones that I really liked, because not only does it not require you to play on any sort of difficulty, but I think they did the right thing where there's a ton of collectibles and they're in kind of crazy in some difficult places. None of them are missable. So you can play through the game, it will dump you back out in the world, and you can collect the rest of that stuff at your leisure. And that's how I really want to do it. That's sort of an expectation now for open world games, I feel, where it's like...
the missable stuff is a nightmare. Look at Ori and the Blind Forest.
Yeah,
they re-released that with the collectible stuff back in, but you could replay the section that you could miss it on the original playthrough.
Yep. Yeah, I feel like that's an expectation with open world games. Like, dumps you back out in the open world and you can free explore and everything's fine. I like that more companies are doing that with your non-open world games. I think that's really great.
I know Vampyr is a minimum 2 playthrough game, I believe.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Like, I don't mind playing through a game twice, especially, like, in Vampyr's case, that game has kind of sucked me in a little bit, so I've got no problem playing through that thing twice.
Right.
Mass Effect was the same.
Yeah.
Mass Effect, I think they kind of nailed it early on, where it's like, the achievements in that game are all about different play styles.
Like an either or.
Yeah, so you had the full Renegade, the full... what was the other one?
Paragon.
Yes, thank you. You had the full Paragon, the full Renegade, but then also it was kill people with these abilities, with those abilities.
Oh, right.
So by doing that in Mass Effect 1, I actually realized, I might like to play as a biotic in Mass Effect 2 because these powers are cool.
Yeah.
So let's see what 2 kind of feels like to play with these people. And I went from a soldier in Mass Effect 1 because it was the only way to beat that game on the hardest difficulty.
Yeah. Shotguns.
Yes, shotguns, assault rifles, and that stupid armor armor buff that the soldiers get. I went from that to biotics in 2 and 3. So
yeah,
I don't know. They've done a much better job recently with them, I will say.
Yeah,
like, people seem to be learning. We like our achievements. We also don't like them to be ridiculous.
Yeah, just make them hard. That's fine. Just don't make them impossible, because for so many of us, one playthrough, we're lucky to get one playthrough. So it's, if we can get the platinum with a little bit of extra time on the end, that seems reasonable. But if they're saying like, all right, now look at the hidden trophies, oops, you gotta play through the whole thing again, it's like, that's no thanks. I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
Gibbionator in Discord says, the loss of Telltale games has hit me pretty hard. They've been a near constant part of my life since 2007 with Sam & Max and CSI 3D, and now that they're just gone, it feels like there's a hole in my gaming world. Are there any studios whose untimely passing have left you feeling gutted like this? Sorry if this is a bring down topic, I'm just trying to process the situation like many of us are. My one forever and for always is Bullfrog.
Oh, you know what? That might be call of the century.
I don't think another studio will ever crush me like Bullfrog being at its height and just being cut down.
In a slow demise kind of method, Maxis was the same for me.
Yep.
They went from being one of my favorite development studios of all time into... what even are they these days?
Well, and yeah, unfortunately, EA sort of brought back this shambling corpse where it's like, how about a new SimCity? It's like, you shouldn't have, and you did it wrong. So,
yep. Speaking of EA, I wish I could remember the studio's name now. Command and Conquer?
I feel like a bad PC nerd. Yeah, I'll look it up.
I can hear the Command and Conquer marching, and specifically the Red Alert 2.
Westwood Studios.
Marching. There we go.
Oof.
Westwood.
Yep.
That studio have made some of the best real-time strategy games of all time.
Yep.
Dune 2000, I'm pretty sure, was one of them.
I think so.
The Command and Conquer series, all the way through Generals. I still think Generals was an amazing
Generals is
game.
great, yeah.
And then look at them now.
I feel like because they had that one miss with, was it CNC 2? That was a pretty big flop. I feel like that wasn't as impactful to me as Bullfrog was, because Bullfrog, I mean, they made every single game they made was incredible. I'm sure there were some exceptions, but I was young. Especially the Syndicate games. And to have them cut down, it would be like, so to make a modern analog, it would be like if Activision closed Blizzard and laid off everyone and said, no one can do anything with these IPs. Like, tomorrow. Yep. That would be... It would be insanity to take a popular, successful studio and just cut them off.
Wait, you mean Activision might close down a studio and say you are restricted from all of these IPs? Like, oh, I don't know, Bizarre Creations.
Yeah.
One of the best racing game developers of all time.
Yep. Yeah, it just... But a string of... Telltale is unfortunately another side effect of the industry being terrible.
It has been a lack of scrutiny and we have all been guilty of this. Me, Boston, every single person who listens to this show, we have all been guilty of, oh, conditions are bad, that's sad, when's the next game coming out?
Right.
Every single one of us, we are all spokes on the wheel, to quote CM Punk.
Yep.
Of this massive machine that has never been scrutinized to the level that it should have been.
Yeah.
That has allowed this to happen, and it's stuff like Telltale, specifically not the company at large, specifically what I can tell the CEO of Telltale, the old CEO,
the ex-CEO,
him. It's 38 Studios and the whole cluster that came out of that thing. We have not done enough of a good job as a society of making these things, of taking care of people in positions of employment. We were talking about this on pre-show.
Yes.
It's something that it needs to be better handled, and it is not fair to people with families.
Right.
To be treated the way they get treated, video game industry or not, any industry at all, the way they're being treated is not fair.
Yeah.
So they need to fix that, not just for video games, but for all industries.
Yep.
It's just video games are the things that are close to our hearts, so we probably tend to feel it a lot more.
Yeah, we're a lot closer
about it
to
more. Yeah.
Yeah.
It needs to be looked at. And hopefully people will start looking at this more and realizing that they can't continue to do this.
Yeah. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
T-Bomb Rocks in Discord says, with Forza Horizon 4 using Halo and James Bond missions and vehicles in a series, it has me thinking, what are some other properties that could be used in the series that have yet to be used? So the thing about Halo that I think is really interesting is the Warthog was in Forza Horizon 3, which I thought was a fun... as a non-Halo fan, I thought that was a fun inclusion. And it controlled pretty well. Apparently there's some like small Halo storyline stuff in Forza Horizon 4. And
it's a spotlight event. I've seen a very brief clip of it. And it looks so cool because it's on the Halo ring, racing around in the Forza engine on the Halo ring.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
I really like it.
Yeah, that's not to me like the extent of my interest in cross-pollination in racers is there's this car in the game and you don't have to use it. Like to me that's the maximum. I don't want a side story or like a
Hold on.
Yeah.
So you don't want Hot Wheels in your game?
I honestly think that was fun, but that's a little far. I mean, I think I enjoyed it, but it was spot on for what it is, and I think they're building a giant orange Hot Wheels track off the coast of Australia. It's not even just like they leaned so far into it that you almost have to respect it for its blatant audacity. Craziness.
Yeah,
but
how Australian it is.
Yeah, maybe. I don't like Halo, so I don't want to race on a friggin' Halo ring.
But hey, they've got James Bond story missions with James Bond cars.
I don't.
Oh, you don't like James Bond either?
No, I like James Bond. Come on. That feels a little bit. I don't know. The way that they were selling that pack felt a little bit. Are you able to get that after the game launched, or is that a pre-order only thing?
I don't know, dude.
Because I feel like
I saw James Bond cars in Forza Horizon and thought, that's cool. If I ever do it, it'll be nice.
Because I feel like it's only a pre-order thing.
It probably is.
And that sort of stinks. It'd be
honestly, my position on this is, I don't care if they want to put like a Halo like Showtime event in it, and you're driving through the ring on Halo. That's fine,
right? Because
it's essentially the same thing. You know what it's like when you're driving down the mountain against the jet, and every now and again the jet flies past you. It's one of them, but it's on the Halo ring.
Sure,
that's all I've seen for it so far. I don't mind. It's a different set and it's a different type of race. It's something new and unique to look at. Honestly, I don't care. The James Bond stuff, I will probably get those cars eventually if I can. At the end of the day, I don't care. I'm going to have 5 cars that I like to drive and drive them the whole of the game.
Yeah, get all their skill trees maxed out.
Yep, because that's kind of the way I play these games, is I've got my 5 cars. My wife has 2.
Yeah.
So
the one thing I'm really excited about for Forza Horizon 4 is that each car has its own skill tree. I think that's super cool.
I saw the tweet about that, and I saw your response as well. I guess there goes all free time between now and the end of the year. Yeah.
The one interesting thing that I thought Jeff Gerstmann was talking about is every car will give you more skill points than you can put into that car. So you can start your next car out with an advantage. Yeah, and like you're not always starting from scratch with every brand new car, and that's very smart.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
It reminds me of what I think was it Forza 3 or 4 when they started doing the brand experience?
3 or 4, one of those.
Where if you drove just Fords, you'd get a bunch of XP every time you
get your Ford bonus.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's Forza Horizon, come on. It's
going to be good.
I'm hoping it's going to be fun. Yeah. It's in England, so I'm looking forward to seeing... Have they said it's in England, or have they said it's in the United Kingdom?
I don't know.
Because I'm very curious to see if they're going to anger a lot of people if they're in Scotland and they refer to it as England.
I feel like they keep saying England and not United Kingdom. But
it seems to be what I remember.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure.
It's going to be real interesting to see if they try and pass off, like, if they try and put, like, Wales or Scotland or here's some races in Ireland and refer to them as all
Northern Ireland stuff.
There is going to be some trouble.
I feel like if they were calling it the UK, I feel like Eurogamer would have written a big piece and we would have seen it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eurogamer probably would have been on top of it.
Yeah. And last question, but certainly not least, from Servo in Discord. When I was in the army, I sat and watched someone play through the entirety of Resident Evil 4 due to me not having access to my own console. A few years later, I watched a playthrough of Uncharted 3 online as I didn't have the funds to purchase a copy myself. This leads me to ask, have there ever been times where you just ended up watching a full playthrough of a game instead of playing it yourself?
In my case, no, because... I don't like watching videos. It takes all my effort to sit down and watch the DC TV shows. Right. I don't like watching YouTube videos. The only thing I watch on YouTube are Formula 1 highlights, soccer match highlights, things that make me cry.
Right. Cat adoption videos.
Yeah. Those kind of things. Right. I don't watch too much. I barely watch Twitch. I don't really go into YouTube. I used to watch a whole bunch of content on video games. Like, I used to love watching the Rooster Teeth and Achievement Hunter channels.
Right.
And as it has become my catchphrase in the year of 2018, I don't have time for that anymore.
Right. The adult responsibilities creeping in.
Yeah. I've got too much stuff to do around the house and play as many games as I can for my own enjoyment and for the show to be sitting and watching other playthroughs.
Right.
Like, because my problem is if I'm watching something, in general, I'm not watching it. I'm listening to it and doing something else.
Yeah. You're like playing something else or... Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's why I like podcasts, because I can do my laundry, do the dishes, get all that stuff done, and I'm still having some form of entertainment.
Right.
I can still listen to Vinny be really dumb at the same time as doing my laundry.
I think I really never watch full playthroughs of stuff. Not because I don't think they're interesting. I do, but it's mostly the time investment. So I usually watch speedruns a lot of times, where it's like, someone beat Prey in 6 minutes and 38 seconds. It's like, okay, cool, yeah, I spent 6 minutes watching one of those things. You know, someone ran through a Destiny mission in 30 seconds. It's like, oh, okay, cool, okay, I'll watch some of that. You know, I think some of that stuff is really interesting. But some of the long form stuff, like you said, like I just don't have the time. It's hard to, for me, it's always what's going to win, and almost always playing a game is going to win over nearly anything else.
Yeah, it's like my wife loves the Super Best Friends play, and she specifically with those two, she watched their playthrough of Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls, and Becoming Human, because they have an appropriate disdain for David Cage,
right?
And they let it be known during their playthrough,
right?
Games like those I'm interested in, but I need to sit down and actually play them first.
Yeah,
I don't want to. If a game is trying to be serious, I will not enjoy it as much, or I will not be able to form my own opinion of it as much.
Right.
If it's trying to be serious and someone is making jokes over the top of it.
Right. Yeah, especially for your first interaction with that game. Yeah. All right, that's all of our questions for this week. Thank you so much, everyone, for writing in. If you'd like to visit us, you can do so at tvgp.tv. All the places to find and follow us are on the right-hand side of the page. Patreon.com/E1M1 for ones or numbers for all of your cool behind-the-scenes, early access stuff, all that kind of cool stuff. There's a brand new, as we said at the top, brand new episode of Old Dog New Flicks, ODNF, out right now. Brand new episode
for both patrons and non-patrons.
Yep. And there's a brand new episode of Dynamic Soundtrack coming out for both patrons and non-patrons. That's a real she kicks high cat leg up there. And Game Club for this month, 2064 read-only memories. We still have like 3 weeks left because we had a long month this month.
Yes. Thank you, September, for being slightly longer than normal.
Big props to September. And YouTube, Twitch, all those places. Follow us there. They'll let you know when we go live, and we'll see you all next week.
Bye.
All right, hit me up with your titles.
I can't do that. We're on literally opposite sides of the country.
Okay. Well, then you can tell them to me then.
Okay. Feels dirty because it is dirty. The Kaplunk Signal. Space Problems. Deleted. Yo, that game is good. Downright Fierce. Stay-at-home developer. Teams of professional killers. A Toe into Madness. 12:01 a.m. Super Mario Party 1 again. Headshot by Accident, round 1. And Ubisock, which kind of takes my choice, if I'm honest.
Ubisock is really good. I have now on to FIFA 17. It feels dirty because it is dirty. Deleted, I'm strong bad and here's the mail. Spraying and screaming. Space Problems, Downright Fierce, A Toe into Madness, which I also really liked, but I would also vote for Ubisock.
Yeah, Ubisock definitely takes it this week. As a complete and utter mistaken two words jumbled into one.
Oh, man. Alright, starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 571 for October 1st, 2018. Ubisock.
4.6% cotton. I'm hoping I got that number right.
I think it's close either way. I don't have the news stories open anymore. But all right, thank you so much, everyone, for watching and listening. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye, folks. Luis, do you want to say goodbye?
Meow. All right, we can stop recording.